for many people, when they make videos, they will find that in the first 30 seconds, the majority of viewers will have left. So this is a common problem, and today let's talk about the solution, which is how to make your hooks impossible to skip. So firstly, what does a good hook look like? So the main job of a hook is to help the viewer decide whether or not to continue watching the video, or just whether or not to watch it in the first place, and it's to make them stay put and not click off. So you can do this by having topic clarity, where the viewer so that the viewer has a clear understanding of what the video is about. Because if the viewer is confused on what the video is about, then they can't decide whether they want to stay on the video or leave the video, and when they're confused, they'll most likely leave the video. So I remember one time our washing machine was broken, and I was helping my dad fix it because the water discharge system wasn't working. So I went onto YouTube to search up some videos on it, and I was scrolling through a lot because I had to make sure if it didn't have the specific model of the washing machine and it wasn't about the specific problem that we had, then I wouldn't bother watching the video in the first place. So if it was a washing machine by a different company, because our one was Samsung, then I wouldn't watch it at all because it wouldn't be relevant. And second is you have to have on target curiosity, which where you make the viewer believe that the topic is for them and it will give them value, and let them have genuine curiosity to see what comes next in the video, so that they stay and continue watching. So now I'm going to be talking about 4 common mistakes that often happen on hooks, which are firstly delay. So it's when the context on what the video is about is delayed for too long. So when, for example, the hook might be in the third sentence instead of the first or second, so it basically makes a hook in the first sentence and cut unnecessary detail to increase the speed to value, so that when the viewer gets to the value at a faster speed, and they don't get bored and just click off immediately. Basically, when I was searching for videos on how to fix the washing machine, I saw that loads of videos, they spent a long time talking about the company that the washing machine was from, or different parts of the model that wasn't related to my problem at all. So I just clicked off immediately and went to another video to check. And thirdly is confusion. Secondly is confusion. Basically, it's when there's comprehension loss. So the viewer isn't understanding what the video is about, and there's a lack of clarity in the words, so that the viewer can't assess or decide if the video is for them because they can't understand it. So if they have increased comprehension, and if they understand the video better, then they absorb more words and they get more information from it, so they will get more value from your video and continue watching. So I remember that when in school, my physics teacher gave me a group project to build a model rocket, and I went on YouTube to find some guide or on how to do it, and I saw this video and it used really scientific words and fancy terminology that I didn't really understand. But I watched the video and I was really bored through half of it because it used lots of formulas and was talking about the components of the rockets, and the diagrams also really complicated, and you had to pay a lot of attention to actually understand what the person was saying. But there were also I also saw some other videos that were easier to watch, and it didn't have lots of fancy words, because the person in the video, explain stuff really clearly and simply, so that I didn't have to concentrate too hard to understand, and the diagram was also simplified and only had the key details in it. So to help improve this, basically it's you should become a better writer. So use fewer words but still enough so that you can't be easily misunderstood, and use direct active voice instead of the passive voice to make people have pay more attention to your video, and engage them more instead of them just sitting back and passively getting all of the information. And ask yourself a question of, is it possible for the viewer to misunderstand what I'm saying, and can my words be interpreted in another way? And if it can, then basically close off all the possibilities so that your words are very clear and can only be interpreted and understood in one way. Thirdly is the irrelevance. So it's when the viewer isn't sure if the video is valuable enough to help them solve their problems. So it's when they're unclear if the video is relevant to them. And two ways to help this is, first, to use second person point of view. So say you or your instead of me and I when you deliver the hook. So for example, you could say, instead of saying, oh, I've had this skin problem, you could say, do you have this skin problem? So that you're directly targeting the viewer. And if you use me or I, then the viewer will try to relate themselves to you, and if the viewer doesn't see themselves in the creator, then they'll place less value on the solution because they're not in the exact same situation. Secondly is to frame hooks around expected value, so where you use a pain point. So for example, in entertainment, the pain point is usually boredom, and the creators usually try to solve that by doing cool challenges or them playing video games. And education is when there's a specific problem you solve. If you don't understand a concept in maths or something, then you can watch a video about it. So with the washing machine as well, there was the most helpful video. In the first 30 seconds, it immediately talked about the problem, which was that the water discharge system wasn't working, and it immediately listed out 3 possible reasons why it could have this problem, which made us continue watching because it was really relatable and relevant to our situation and our problems. And lastly is disinterest. So basically, where you should create a curiosity loop where there's first question and context. So your hook should have make the viewer question something and then give them a bit of context or information and answer that question. But while you're answering that question, you also somehow provide them with another question so that they continue watching, because every information you give, you're also making them question something else, so they keep on watching to answer their new questions instead of just having one question at the beginning and then it's straight away answered, so they don't need to continue watching anymore. And you can one of the best ways to create a curiosity loop is to use you can also use contrast or comparison to do it. So where you can use A versus B, where one is the current baseline, so what the viewer already believes in, and B is the alternate offer that makes the pain points solved faster or more effectively or with a cheaper method. So for example, if you wanted to promote a new a new shoe from a new brand, then you should compare that to a famous brand, which is Nike, which everyone knows about, and you can say, oh, this new shoe, it's using this new high-tech material that can like improve like bouncing ability and make you jump higher and also run faster. And it also has like special padding to make you more comfortable, which is solving the pain point of the viewer. Maybe they can't run as fast, or maybe the current shoe is hurting them because it's not comfortable, which is why this is really useful. So in conclusion, so these are just like 4 common mistakes, and I think like one of the most important stuff to take away is the curiosity loop, and to always keep the viewer engaged and always like asking questions about everything you have to say, and yeah, to keep the topic clear. And with the points that in this like video, it can also be helpful in real life situations instead of just for making videos. For example, if you have a job interview and you worked in a summer like internship and you wanted to include that, you could say that you worked in a summer like internship in a sales department where you were given a task to set up a new like market in Mexico by selling drinks, and you can use like key figures and numbers to impress and like make a good impression on the interviewer. And like for example, you could say that you and your team made 1.5 million sales throughout the 2-month period of the summer, which really helps like the interviewer picture with the impact you made, and it creates a really good impression. So that's all for today. Bye.